Hello, my name is Franklin, and I'm the author of Except the Lord Build a House, Overcoming the Dysfunctional Mind. And I'm very excited to share this book with you because I believe it's a practical book that deals with real issues. And in America, many people are struggling with broken homes, domestic violence, and dysfunctional mindsets. And these are addressed in my book. And I know that it's a good book for people to read because 5 people have told me personally that have read it that this is something that America needs right now. And they have wanted me to publish this book. And I want to look at the cover here. You can see that this right here is the ideal home. And this is a home that people look at, and this is a dysfunctional home. But many times what we do is we look at an ideal home more than a dysfunctional home. And the ideal home is something that people many times cannot relate with. I know for myself, when I was 17, my dad put a gun to his head and he committed suicide. And I know that I'm not alone. I know that there are many people struggling with how can I get to this ideal home. But many times before we talk about the ideal home, we need to go back to what people are really dealing with, and that is dysfunction. And so the Bible tells us in Proverbs 21 and verse 12 that the righteous man wisely considers the house of the wicked. And I believe that that's a principle that we can apply to our lives, that we need to think about our own home environments and also our own selves and what we are doing as well. We're not divorced from that. But I want to read something from my book here. And it says that people can ignore their dysfunctional home environments and try to go on with life, even a Christian life, as if all is well and has always been well. But how can they be totally restored if they don't prayerfully reflect and consider their past family failings in light of God's word, like the righteous son in Ezekiel 18:14? If they're not totally restored, then how can they stop from repeating the same sins of their parents? And my book really covers that son in Ezekiel 18:14 who looked at all of his father's sins and he considered that and he did not do such alike. What I also like about this book, in addition to that it has a personal testimony of what I dealt with at my home and also how the Lord has dealt with me personally in my own dysfunction in my own personal life. What I like is that this is a Bible-based solution. And the reason why I want it to be Bible-based is because I believe that there is a wonderful counselor that has dealt with many situations just like this. And I write in my book here that I introduce people to the wonderful counselor because he has been in the counseling business for over 6,000 years. His track record for advice has been perfect. He makes no mistakes. He knows how to counsel in hard cases like those of Josiah and Hezekiah, who did not grow up in ideal homes. His book, the Bible, has been a bestseller for ages. I could continue and read the other other 11 points that I have in here, a total of 11 points that I have in this book. But I conclude this chapter by saying, have you experienced a dysfunctional, broken home? Have you had a counseling session with Jesus, the wonderful counselor and the Prince of Peace? He specializes in bringing full functionality to the dysfunctional mind. And I know that when you get your hands on this copy, that you will want to read this. You'll be captivated not just by my story, but by the biblical principles. And this is something that is not just something that I believe you will want to get for yourself, but as you read this book, you'll see how important it is for your friends and family to get as well. Again, this is Franklin, author of Except the Lord Build a House, Overcoming the Dysfunctional Mind.